Howdy do y'all, this is John, and welcome to my third annual Horror-thon. Today we are talking about The Raven, starring Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi. And in The Raven, a doctor goes insane and starts plotting these contraptions based off of torture devices within the work of Edgar Allan Poe. You have things like a shrinking room, a pit and a pendulum, things like that. Okay, so to get things started, what I liked about this movie, first of all, Bela Lugosi and Boris Karloff are pretty good to get together. They play the two main characters. These characters are very different people. On one hand, Karloff's playing this criminal who doesn't want to be a criminal anymore. And you have Lugosi, who's playing a mad doctor. And like I said, the two are really good together. Surprisingly good together. And I do like the idea behind this film about a Poe fanatic who just goes insane and starts recreating the many torture contraptions that Poe came up with, because he came up with quite a few. He wasn't writing whodunit murder mysteries. Poe was writing horror, and he is inarguably most famous for his work in horror. Us horror fans owe a lot to Edgar Allan Poe. However, what hurts this movie is, of course, the fact that the movie is a victim of its time. Raven was made back in 1935, and while it doesn't have any of the social issues of the time present in the film in any way, shape, or form, it is a victim of the MPAA's production code. It's this code of ethics that the MPAA put into movies. You can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do whatever. This, along with some of the technical setbacks they had in the 1930s, I think very much hindered the film. Because ultimately, they could have done some stuff that at the time was pretty bold, even if they didn't actually show something. Like if they showed the whole pit and the pendulum thing and they just simply fade to black and fade to the next scene and just simply imply a person had been killed, that would have been pretty intense. But because of the production code thing, they couldn't even do that. What you instead get is this zero tension, zero suspense situation, no real payoff. But the movie's only like an hour long, and not only does it feel 2 hours, but there's also the setbacks of making an hour-long movie instead of at least an hour and a half. Character development, you have bad story development, all these issues within that confine of an hour movie. I'm going to be honest here. Making an hour-long movie that's good, it's almost impossible. And in conclusion, my thoughts on The Raven. The film is a huge victim of its time. There's some stuff that they could have done that because of the production code they couldn't do. It was also a victim of the confines of making an hour-long movie instead of at least an hour and a half. Ultimately, I'm going to have to give The Raven a 3. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please like this video if you enjoyed it. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, please remember, the Podetsky will return.